Hey everybody out there in football land, it's your girl Sonia Pearson, all things football from a lady's perspective. Please make sure you follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Links are in my bio as well as in the comments. Now, you guys are not going to believe this. This is my third time recording this video. So hopefully I know how to upload this one before anything else happens. I am doing the week 2 recap of the news from the NFL, as well as a couple of little rankings of fantasy players for this week. I wanted to start out by talking about that I was at the Falcons game, y'all, because y'all know I live here in Atlanta. And they eked out that win against Green Bay 25-24. Now, that game was like a nail biter the entire time. But Falcons got it done, and they're 2-0 for the first time since 2017. So kudos to the Falcons. My Panthers fell to the Saints in Monday Night Football, meaning the Saints are still 2-0. And looks like today the breaking news is that Bryce may have gotten an ankle injury. He and Brian Burns were held out of practice today, so I'm not sure if he's going to be playing next week or not, but that's the news out of Charlotte today. And y'all, I'm so excited because my Bryce Young jersey just came in, and I'm hoping that will be like some good luck for us once I wear it or everything, you know. So let's get started with a few recaps. And I have like some really sad news too to talk about the Dolphins-Patriots game. This whole week was like a lot of close games. Vikings-Eagles, Eagles 34, Vikings 28. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson showing why he was able to negotiate his own salary, eking by the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow catches an injury, something about his calf. Not sure how long he's going to be out. 27-24. Seattle over the Lions 37-31. The Indianapolis Colts 31. The Texans 20. C.J. Stroud versus Anthony Richardson. And the reports are that Anthony Richardson has some type of injury as well. The Chicago Bears, their offensive coordinator looks like he just resigned, like since I started taping this. They fell to Baker Mayfield and company, Tampa Bay, getting it done 27-17 over the Bears. Bears looking like a fragment of the team they used to be, and no one recognizes the Bears anymore. Kansas City Chiefs showing up why they show improve. Welcome back Travis Kelce. He racked up on the fantasy. Welcome to your first game of the NFL season. 17-9 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. I already told you about the Green Bay Falcons game. The Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders that is, mollywopped by Buffalo Bills. 38-10, Josh Allen showing that, hey, we just sat down for a week, but we still here. 38-10. The Chargers fell to the Tennessee Titans 27-24. 49ers and Rams game was close until it wasn't. 30-23, 49ers getting it done over the Rams. 49ers will be playing in Thursday Night Football as well against the Giants, 8:15 p.m. on Amazon Prime. That's Thursday, September 21st. Giants, speaking of them, Saquon Barkley out for the remainder of the season with an injury. 31-28 over the Cardinals. That game was like, are you serious? For a while, the Giants were trailing, and then they came back and won. Whew. The Jets trying to get it done with Zach Wilson. The rumor is they're not going to be the same without Aaron Rodgers. Let's face it, that's probably true. Dallas still on that mollywopping mission, 30-10. The Washington Commanders, they barely eked by the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson, Sean Payton are now 0-2. What are y'all doing? 35-33 over the Broncos. The Miami Dolphins Patriots game, I'm going to come back to that because I have to tell you something about that. I told you about the Panthers game. Also, Shaq Thompson went out with an injury. I think it's a fractured fibula or something to that effect, but he's out for the remainder of the season. Maybe he might come back toward the end. But for now, that's what the projection is. Saints got it done over us 20-17. It was a close game until the third quarter. Saints opened up, and then we just got lost in the sauce. Bryce Young lined up incorrectly. The offensive line decided to collapse. The defense, really honestly, is the only reason why we were still in that game. 20-17, Panthers are now 0-2. Saints are 2-0. The Browns and Steelers game was another close game, and it looked as if the Steelers were going to lose that game until they wasn't. You know, good old Mike Tomlin, he's always got a trick in the bag. and they pulled it out 26-22 over the Cleveland Browns, the AFC North matchup. So Monday Night Football was a matchup of divisional rivals, Saints and Panthers, and the kickoff between the Browns and the Steelers. Let me go back to the Patriots-Dolphins game. Patriots lost to the Dolphins. They've always seemed to lose to the Dolphins. You guys know they're like the kryptonite to Superman. That's just how it always is. Well, the Patriots lost 17. Dolphins had 24. A fan got into an altercation. A gentleman that was 53 years old from New Hampshire. His name was Mr. Mooney. Got into an altercation with a fan, was punched during the game, and it appears he passed away while the game was still being played. Medics came. They said he was hitting the side of his head. The autopsy results are out now. I have not read them, so I do not want to say whether or not they are speculative of that injury being a result of his passing or just what. But definitely condolences to Mr. Mooney and his family, to his family. Just very sad situation that you can't go to a game and enjoy it without violence. The game is supposed to be enjoyable, and yes, we as fans get hyped up and excited, but no one deserves to be physically harmed or assaulted. Going over to your fantasy players, you need to be on the lookout for this week. Make sure you switch those people out who I mentioned that are injured. Shaq Thompson, Bryce Young is questionable if you have him. Saquon Barkley definitely going to bust someone's fantasy as far as having the league going. But people to look out for, Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins for the quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Tua down there in Florida getting it done, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Dallas and that D, along with Dak. Jalen Hurts looking good up there in Philly, Jared Goff, and like I mentioned earlier, Brock Purdy. So be on the lookout for them to really kick up some points this week. Definitely keep your running back rankings, which I'm going to go into those really quick. Make sure you pull those people who are out injured. Looks like Christian McCaffrey is at the top of the list right now, looking good. Tony Pollard, Travis Etienne, Bijan Robinson, which in my book, he's balling all the way out. He's number one. Bijan looking like he's been in the league over 5 years. Solid player. Kenneth Walker III, Josh Jacobs, Jameer Gibbs, and Derrick Henry are your top running back people for this week. Now we'll look at a couple of wide receivers before I get off of here. And that will be your episode for this week. Actually, I might look at a couple tight ends too. I have a couple of minutes left. The wide receivers for this week are going to be Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. By the way, the Browns just re-signed today. So excited about that. With that injury, they had an injury. God, I forgot to tell y'all about that. They had an injury. And so they re-signed some folks up there. Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, like I said, Dallas. A.J. Brown, Arnold Ross St. Brown. Now, he was questionable, but looks like he's going to be back. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Keenan Allen and Devontae Adams are your top wide receivers. And now we're going to go to get your tight ends for your rankings for this week. And they would, of course, be Mr. Travis Kelce himself. I'm glad I got him as number one because he's number one on here. Mark Andrews, T.J. Hawkinson, George Kittle, Darren Waller, Dallas Goedert, Sam Laporta, Evan Ingram, and Pat Freiermuth. All right, y'all. This is All Things Football. Thanks for tuning in. Catch me next week at the same time, right around 6 or 7 on Wednesday for the Week 3 recap. And good luck to your team. And as always, go Panthers.